There we have it, the final stats from this match. Real Madrid dominant in possession, 76% of the ball. With just the one goal as they take all 3 points away from home. What does it mean for the top half of the La Liga table? Well, Real Madrid are now in first place with a 2-point cushion over Barcelona through 9 games played. All right, for more on this one, let's welcome in a former Barcelona player, our good friend and colleague, Luis Garcia. It was pretty clear the guys thought that was a straight red on Nyom. Luis, you agree?
Yeah, actually, I agree. At the end, it's all about interpretation. How do you see the game, where the ball is, and the direction of the ball? I think the guys were totally right. And just arrived into the game, I think they didn't approach the game the well that you have to be. It's a very intense. You are fighting to get a point. In the end, Vinicius change the direction. You hit on him. So I think it's all about interpretation. I think the interpretation of the referee is totally right. So it was a red card and changed the whole game, because from now on you are not focused on the game. You concede that first goal, so it's game over. Getafe hasn't even had a shot on target. So even Real Madrid hasn't been the best game today. I think they will deserve the game, the 3 points, because at least they tried during the 90 minutes.
God, it was ugly, wasn't it?
But those red cards did change the game. I mean, before that, there's not a lot separating the teams, and this was a huge game for Real Madrid. Like, they had to have it this week.
Yeah, and this is what they had to expect. We talked about it. This is the way Getafe, this is the way they operate. This is how Bordalas' teams go about it. I'm thinking back, I mentioned it pre-game, season before last, Barcelona went there, and it was bordering on assault. I mean, Stuart Robson talked about it in the commentary. It was off-the-ball stuff. A bit like we saw there with the challenge on Vinicius Jr., but it was a lot of off-the-ball stuff on Lewandowski that day and getting away with it. That's kind of how they operate. So as long as you're prepared for that going in, you know what's going to happen, then you should be okay. In terms of the performance from Real Madrid, even potentially losing points at the end there against 9 men, I don't think it does a lot for next week for Xabi Alonso to go, right, this is my 11 I'm putting out against Barcelona. It's crystal clear. And I've made.
Are you saying that because it was Getafe, or because nobody did enough to kind of earn that spot on the weekend?
Well, Bellingham's chasing his fitness, so he got plenty of game time. Does he chuck him back into the Clasico because he thinks he's fit enough? Because he made a mistake in the Madrid derby by playing him when he'd only 20 minutes of football. Arda Güler, who's played most of the games, if not all the games this year, certainly started them, comes on, creates a chance. He has been one of their chief creators. Mastantuano's been, he's been lively. He got taken off today. He didn't have a great game today, but he's been lively. So, the only one, pretty much Mbappe. Mbappe's playing, right?
Yeah.
But, David Alaba goes off again. He said these horrendous injury woes, we don't know at this moment in time.
The center of their back line is really beat up right now if you're Real Madrid. No Rudiger.
It is.
No Dean Huijsen.
Carvajal's had this suspension, and Trent Alexander-Arnold has... he's been out, I think, injured. So they have these issues at the back. So it's not simplistic going into next week. I think it's crystal clear Rodrigo won't play. Vinicius Jr. will. But in terms of patching up the middle of the park and the back four, I think there's a lot of questions.
Arda Güler's given him something to think about. Coming on again, making a great pass for the goal. He's the difference. Him and Mbappe are the difference in the 3 points today. Against a Barcelona side next week who are going to play a high line. So you need somebody with that type of quality to pick a pass for the pace of Mbappe. So
you wouldn't start Jude in the Clasico?
I would start Jude. I think I would start Güler as well.
Well, Güler was...
I don't know that you... how many midfielders are you going to have?
Well, I think Güler's an easy option to leave out. I think Güler was the fall guy in the Madrid derby. He gave a penalty away, which was unfortunate with a high boot, but it can happen. That's not taken away from his performance, where he scored a great goal and created the goal for Mbappe with the passing. But he was the one that was subbed on the hour mark, I believe. Not Bellingham, not any of the others. It was Güler. It was taken off, and you could have argued he was their biggest and best playmaker that day. So I think in some sense, if I was Arda Güler, I'd be a little worried that I'm the easier guy when it comes to a big decision.
Why do you say easier? Like from the manager's perspective, you're saying?
Well,
Why just because it's a smaller name, not as big?
A whole lot, yeah.
And who am I going to leave out?
But it's pretty clear
that means my door's going to be more
he's the more impactful player right now.
Well, exactly. So is he going to try and win the game, or is he going to make sure he doesn't lose it? If he's going to try and win the game, then you've got to play Güler. If you're making sure you don't lose it, then you don't play. You go with strength instead of just that acuteness and that ability to make a pass.
Luis, we talked about it in the pre-match show. This was a big start for Jude Bellingham. What did you make of his performance?
Well, overall, it's just minutes for him. It wasn't an easy game. Overall of the game, I think that Real Madrid wasn't in his best. He was trying to find a way of creating. He was trying to find a way of these new ideas of Xabi Alonso, and they were all frustrated by a very well-organized Getafe. They have no intention of giving anything to you to try and get it. So it's all about getting the rhythm of the competition. Let's not forget, it's been quite a long time without playing, and all these minutes are going to help him to, when the important moments arrive. Now we are far away from the real decisions that the Xavi will have to do because all competitions are right open. La Liga is still open. Champions League is still open. So March will be very important. So you need to have the best players in the best form and sharp and rested when the important games arrive. And right now, Jude Bellingham needs to get those minutes, needs to get the rhythm of the competition. And Getafe is another game that you can use them. You know that at the end, you're going to manage to get the result. It was quite late. It was because of some different circumstances. But in the end, they managed to get the 3 points. And for Jude Bellingham, it was fantastic to have those minutes because midweek you got a very important game, and probably you need these kind of players to show up. And Jude is one of those that in the big games he kind of likes to show off, likes to be important, and he's going to be really a key player for Real Madrid.
I would imagine the team selection in midweek in the Champions League isn't going to reflect the team selection come next Sunday. I think he's going to have to play certainly a hybrid team. I don't think the 11 that starts in midweek is going to start at the weekend, so he's going to have to.
Do you think what we saw today is then a good indicator of what we'll see next weekend?
No, I think
you're saying you're going to rotate midweek. Isn't this?
I think it's maybe a better indicator of what we'll see in midweek.
Okay.
I think potentially, Rodrigo might play again because I don't think he'll play in the Clasico. I think anybody who, if there's 3 or 4 players that Alonso's thinking about not starting in the Clasico and the squad players, I think he may play them against Juventus. I think the Champions League in its new format gives you a little bit more leeway in that sense, that he can do that, particularly with such a big game at the weekend. But both managers going into this Clasico, and I'm sort of pitching ahead away from this weekend, but it is such a big game, and both of them have got food for thought. And I mean, if you watched Barcelona yesterday, particularly in the first half, he is going to scratch his head, Hansi Flick, and he won't be on the touchline, it doesn't seem. He's going to be scratching his head thinking, I need to put a back 4 together that can A, play an offside trap, and B, do it at the right time, because they left so much space for a Girona side. Their second bottom of the league should have been 4 up at half-time. Can you imagine doing that against this current Kylian Mbappe, this current Real Madrid side? All right, Mbappe ran offside 100 times in the last Clasico, or the first Clasico of last year. That ain't going to happen this year. He's a different player. He's the man now. He's brimming with confidence. He's scoring goals. He's timing his runs. And when you saw that Barcelona line yesterday, again, just malfunctioning, time after time after time, then Hansi Flick has that to solve. So both managers have got some intriguing decisions to make ahead of next weekend's clash.
None of them have favorites, and again, we've been talking a lot, and every single year is the same. Clásicos are totally different. There is a midweek game that we have to count about it because depending on the players who are going to be involved are not going to be probably part of the weekend's game, and that's also something to get account with. But I think that El Clásico is always a different game, and it doesn't matter how you arrive. It's about what you can deliver in that game. And in the same way that I can see a Barcelona strong and scoring 3 goals, I can see a Barcelona being destroyed by that high line and a good performance from Vinicius Junior and Mbappe.
Well, I get what Luis is saying. While Luis is saying, Real Madrid have struggled against teams that are well organised, Barcelona are not. Yep. It's the one thing they are not at the moment. They are not well organised. They are dishevelled, disjointed. Yeah, I mean, they can still play some great stuff going forward. Don't get me wrong.
It's a mess at the back.
It's a mess.
Well, not only do we see it, but they see it as well. Chesney yesterday after the game was the first thing he said. We can't hold the line when nobody's closing the ball. That's not a little foible that you tweak with. That's a basic principle of the game, of defending. And so when you're getting such a major thing wrong so often, you can't get away with it against Mbappe.
All right, so Real Madrid get the win, 1-0 against Getafe. That puts them first place in La Liga. Usually when Luis Garcia joins the show, guys, he's
ready for
kind of
bed.
could be anywhere in the world.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
Ready for bed.
I think he's in Hong Kong right now, and we got some pictures here, Luis. Are you balling again? What is this?
Well, we kind of play a match yesterday against some of the Manchester United that they've been former Manchester United players and some former of Liverpool players, and we were involved in one of those kind of games. And well, it's all about catching up with some former players, enjoy the game once again, and yeah, we had a good time. But I'm in Chengdu already, so I moved the city. I'm still in China. But on Tuesday we got a very important game. My team, the one that I'm working on, JDD in Champions League. So we'll try to do our best.
Lewis, there's a word in the English dictionary, and I know you speak, although you're Spanish, you speak very good English. There's a word, it's got 2 letters in it, and it's no. You're allowed to say no now and again. Stay at home.
Okay, I'll try next time.
You can't say no, Stevie, can he?
Well, if he's not listening to the wife, he's not listening to you.
Luis wearing the number 10.
Obviously.
No surprise there. All right, Luis, great to be with you. Thanks for joining us for our La Liga coverage here. Of course, it all comes to a boil on Sunday. Real Madrid against Barcelona, El Clasico. And we're starting our coverage very early Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here on ESPN+.